can you, in very, very general terms, so that you can protect your identity, give us an idea of how you would have contact with someone of this power?
Well, I was groomed from very early on to be a political figure of prominence here in the United States, and as a result, I had extensive interactions with people all over the world, primarily in Europe and Southeast Asia and North and South America. And this person often figured into those meetings, and I was asked to do things by this person. I refused. There was a very well-known crime that happened. I am trying to be vague. I think people can fill in the blanks. I was tortured extensively by this person. As a result, I had a great desire to die as a result of what was done to me. But I'm still glad I didn't do what I was asked to do. I'm not sure if I answered your question.
You answered it very well. Did the Illuminati essentially give up on you then?
No, actually. I was involved in some other scenarios which were equally shocking and covered up. And basically what finally happened, I was advised by some other people who have lived to leave. A lot of people don't live if they try and leave. My best friend didn't survive. And they basically told me that I needed to document my experiences and let the people involved know that should I disappear or commit suicide, that the film and the documentation should be released to media outlets, and the police should be given that information so that the people who are involved would be implicated whether anything happens to them. They've done away with some other people, so I don't know, but I certainly want to give them the sense that I won't be forgotten. I have people that are loyal to me, and that decrease the amount of harassment a great deal. Now I just basically get death threats, and I'm followed pretty extensively.
You mentioned that you had something to say about the role of religions. Are all religions pretty well infiltrated by the Illuminati? I think you mentioned the Catholic Church.
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I have a relative that was in the banking industry in a very high position who was asked to go to seminary so that they could be a resource to the cult. This person started daycares in 3 different states at multiple churches. All those children were molested in the daycares, used in pornography, used in rituals, and this person has been outed to the church. The church, it's a mainline denomination, is aware of what they've been accused of. There's been no investigation whatsoever. There is also a lot of involvement by the Catholic Church in particular. I don't want to by any means portray that every Catholic is involved. Again, that's just like saying every Jew is involved in the Illuminati. That's just not true. But the priests are, by and large, very heavily involved. I personally have experienced all sorts of type of rituals within Catholic churches, within a Catholic nursing home by nuns. Many nuns are now even coming out and saying that they do not worship God, the Christian God, but rather they believe in a goddess. Some of them worship Mary specifically. Others worship a female creator that has nothing to do with the Bible. And basically the Catholic Church really hasn't tried to shut them down. But I think what's really key is I believe, this is my perception based on the things that I've had access to, I believe that the job of the Pope, not necessarily the Pope that's in place, but the position of Pope will probably be the religious leader, the Antichrist as referred to in the Bible. I believe that will be the person that will achieve that designation. And I think it's very likely to happen soon. Based on my experiences, I've been to the Vatican, and it's rotten at the top for sure. And they've infiltrated all religious organizations. So to name a specific one other than the Catholic Church, because of the reasons I just cited, probably isn't the best use of our time.
Mary Anne, just say no if you have no information on this.
Sure.
Is Russia and China and Iran, are they all part of this Illuminati network?
I believe all countries are a part of this. The small ones, if they are not a party to it, the leaders are either assassinated or they disappear, or they get arrested for something and end up in a U.S. prison for years. You don't say no.
You mentioned that the homosexual agenda had something to do with the Illuminati plan.
Yes.
We know that a lot of Illuminati members are homosexuals, are they not?
Yes.
I'm curious, why would they have an AIDS epidemic that killed so many homosexuals if they're homosexuals themselves?
I think, notably, I think that this is something they have a great deal of control over. So I think they have some mechanism in place that they protect those who are working on their behalf. I think there's several reasons why this is becoming much more prominent. Number one, I think they really want to create a sense of isolation. Even in homosexual relationships, they tend to have a lot of partners. You're seeing that in heterosexuals as well. There are a lot of people that practice bisexuality, but a sense of where we are culturally speaking, people are, by and large now, there's more single people that are adults than people that are married, and that's a dramatic shift from even a couple decades ago. And
Mary Anne, can I interrupt? Mary Anne,
certainly,
can I interrupt you? Yeah. What you're describing is symptomatic, and I've described that. After the break,
Okay.
though, can you tell me whether this agenda was ever mapped out for you? We'll be back in 3 minutes. Okay, we're back for a short concluding segment with Mary Anne. We have about 3 minutes, Mary Anne.
Oh, wow.
My book is all about, my book, Cruel Hoax, Feminism and the New World Order, is all about how they're trying to turn us into homosexuals. But that's all written from the point of view of looking at their propaganda and looking at the effect of the propaganda on marriage and the family and the birth rate and so on. Was this policy ever enunciated to you?
Yes, primarily they are doing anything that they perceive as rebellious against the Christian God, that is heavily taught against, and therefore that's a means of blackmailing people if they don't follow the program that's been set for them. And there are other things I think probably your book covers very adequately, so perhaps we should move on to something else we wanted to get to.
Let's move on to the issue that made you come forward.
Yes.
And that is your fear of martial law. And in a previous discussion, you were saying that we should prepare.
Yes, absolutely. I think, first of all, we need to prepare and look at what's really critical, our values. You know, a lot of people that came out of the Holocaust had some pretty insightful perceptions. I don't know if you're familiar with Martin Niemöller, but he talks about how the Germans kept coming for different types of people. He didn't stand up because he didn't belong to the communists. He wasn't a Jew. He wasn't a unionist. And then basically he said they came for me, and he was a Protestant, but there was nobody left to stand up for him. So, you know, we have, as a group, we need to realize that we owe ourselves, our community, a cohesiveness, that only we as a unit, as a group of people, can decide to stand up to this. You know, if they declared martial law, I think one of the great things that we could do as individuals is basically block the roads with our cars. Just get in our cars, and whenever that martial law, the curfew takes place, you know, just block the roads. They can't arrest everybody. They back down, and there have been times in the past that they were planning to roll out something, and they backed down because they saw that people weren't going to swallow it. It's just like the chips that they're planning in the elderly and in our animals. They want to do this to everyone. And if we stand up and say, no, this is not acceptable, then we have a chance of postponing their plans. But I think also, as individuals, I think we need to try and get out of debt, and I think we need to take that very seriously. I think we definitely need to have gold and silver on hand. I think that it's important that we, you know, maybe stock up on the important things, such as
what about guns and ammunition, Mary Anne?
I think that would be something a wise person would do. I think
Mary Anne,
that this is...
Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, this is the time. This is the time. We are in a critical phase of our lives, and I think we have to take that very seriously. And I think that they might do things with the air. They're already doing a lot of things with the air. They might pollute our water. They might do something else that will cause a lot of fear and people to isolate and just react. And I think we need to keep our presence of mind and think about how it benefits their agenda and not succumb to what they tell us to do.